Happy Thursday to you, everyone. Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca has a quote that I kind of just put in the forefront of my mind every single day, and I think you should as well. And that quote goes like this: there is nothing that the busy man is less busy with than living. It's the hardest thing to learn to do. I tell you, it's the absolute truth. That's why I come here to the mountains all the time. I just kind of need to take a break. The mountains, for me, are like an evergreen thunder shirt. Yeah, they just stop everything, slow everything down for me, slow my heart rate, slow my anxiety, slow my goals, slow my deadlines. Everything just is compressed like a loving green hug. I love it, and I need it, and you need it as well. So make sure you hit the great outdoors and slow everything down. And speaking of which, I had a viewer question, and I tell you, this question has been asked of me, I can't even begin to wonder how many times. And the question is, Bryan, how long should I train my dog per session, per training session? How many should I do in a day, and how long should they be? You know, I'm going to just say right off the bat, there's no magical amount of time. There's not. There really isn't. It is so much about feeling the dog, giving the dog, taking from the dog what it will give you. It's so much of it. What you're really looking for in any sort of training, whether you're training a human, whether you're training a dog, is that aha moment. Yeah, you know those, the ones where you're reading a novel, it's like a mystery novel, and you suddenly go, ah, I get it now. Aha, holy moly. Or like me, when I was taking math back in the school days, it was like, aha. And man, those were serious aha moments because they came far and few between. You're looking for that glutamatergic synapse firing off the brain cells and aha, I got it. Well, you're looking for the same thing from your dog. You're looking for your dog to suddenly show you, display to you during any training session, whether it's 1 minute into it, whether it's 20 minutes into it, that I got it. They got that aha moment. So to be able to sense that from your dog, you got to get all the way into it. You got to slow it down frame by frame by frame. You've got to watch, listen, and allow your dog to speak to you. I've done my best dog training when I've been in the wild. Yeah, I kid you not. I'll take a dog, head out into the woods somewhere, head up into the mountains, and the best training that I've ever done, the most I've ever accomplished with any personal dog, has been away from the big city, away from all the family commitments, away from all the commitments of my job, careers. It's when you can sit back for just a moment, kind of like in a survival situation. When you feel that panic coming on, when you feel that dragon biting you in the back of your neck, first thing you need to do is just sit down. Yeah, just hop a squat, just like me right here on this rock. Sit there. Think. Look around you. Listen to the forest. Listen to the river. Listen to your heart. Think. And once you've thought for a little bit, now you can start to formulate a plan. So that's one of the first things you need to do with your dog. If you're ever going to wonder, how long should I spend training my dog during any training session? First things first, have a plan. That's right. Now that being said, I love Mike Tyson's quote. Yeah, everyone's got a plan till you get punched in the mouth. Then things change in a real hurry. Be ready for the same thing to happen to you. The dog may not be giving you any indication whatsoever that plan is going to be able to be completed. But do have a plan. I always have a plan. I always have a goal in mind. And I'm going to shoot for that goal. I'm going to just go for it, and I'm going to go for it for as little or as long as it takes to accomplish that goal based upon what the dog is giving me. What are you giving me, dog? Can I tell? Do you look like you're stressed? Are you panting? Do I have an anxiety trigger pulled up? Do I have a dog looking away from me instead of looking at me? Gosh, guys, if you owned your dog for more than 5 days, you got to know this. You can definitely feel it. Another thing, think about numbers versus time. I don't look at a watch when I'm training. I never look at a watch when I'm training. Never. Heck, if I got to get training done because I've got something I have to do, I've got a client come and visit me, or I got to be home at a certain time, I got a certain deadline, certain time commitment, I'm going to make sure that I do that training with that dog long before I have to pack up and get ready to do something else. You need to do the same thing. This is not a hurry up thing. Okay, I got to go pick up the kids from school at 3 p.m. and it's 2:30. Let me get the dog out real quick so I can get that training session out of the way, because carpool takes forever. And then when I got to stop at the grocery store on the way home, get something for dinner, then I got to prepare dinner, and I got to take that laundry that's been sitting in that washing machine all day long and throw it in the dryer, and then I got to fold all that stuff. Sound familiar? Heck yeah. So how are you supposed to do any quality dog training during that time? You're going to be watching your dog? No, you're going to be watching your watch, looking at the clock. So leave yourself plenty of time. Think about numbers instead. Numbers will force you to quit looking at a clock and start thinking about numbers. Repetition. What's 1 plus 1? What's 1 plus 1? I've said it before. Repetition. Flashcarding the dog. Think numbers. Numbers. And a good number to think is with your young dog. When I say young, typically about 4 months of age to about a year of age. About 25 to 30 reps of any individual behavior. You're going to need that, and you're probably going to need that over several days to achieve that aha moment, that long-term potentiation. And then think about that forward progress. Log it. Write it down. How much are you going to remember actually? Come on now. Brains fill all sorts of stuff. Write it down. Get an app. I don't care. Get a to-do. Get a note app on your phone. I don't care what it is. Write it down. Write down what you saw that last training session, what you felt, the energy from the dog. Was the dog picking it up? Or does the dog actually seem to be going backwards? And if it does, it's time for you to go backwards even faster than your dog. Sit down again. Don't panic. Think it through. So as a general idea, when I'm typically training one of my own personal dogs just for regular obedience, he'll sit down, stay, come and call, don't jump on anyone, be quiet when I tell you to, that sort of stuff. When I'm doing that, I'm thinking about at least 2 to 3 sessions per day, about 25 to 35 reps. I work on one behavior at a time until the dog has moderately mastered. And notice I say moderately. Kind of has an idea what sit is, what down is, what stay is. Once the dog has an idea what those different behaviors are and their requirements, then I'll start to combine them together. And then I'll do combination exercises, but I'll never forsake just doing the single exercise, the single subject at a time. But I'll throw in about those last 10 reps, I'll throw in some combos. And then my last thing that I want you to do, and that I do, is I never end on a bad note. Ever. Never. So let's say, for instance, you're trying to get your dog to lay down. Just not happening. You're not happy. You're on rep like number 18 and you're not feeling it. And you're going, okay, dog's having a day. We all have a day. Keep that in mind as well. Because if you're having a day, keep your hands off your dog. Or if your dog's having that day, then make sure you finish on something strong. Go back to something your dog for sure knows how to do and do well. And finish it on that. End it on a high note. You let that dog know. Way to go, buddy. Tomorrow, that down thing, oh yeah, we'll tackle that come tomorrow. Or we'll tackle that this afternoon. Go get some rest. I got something for you to chew on for a little bit here. Take a break. I got stuff that I got to go focus on. We'll come back and we're going to hit this thing again. Think about that, guys. So, okay, so just to wrap up in summary, number 1, make sure you're slow. Make sure your heart rate's down. Make sure your thinking is where it needs to be. Make sure that you are not having to meet some deadline real fast here. You're looking at your watch. No, when you do carve out that training time, it is that time. It is for you. It is for the dog. That's all it is. Nothing else. Have a plan. Be ready to deviate from that plan, because not all plans get to happen the way you intend for them to happen. Be ready for plan B and plan C. Deviate away. Then always only train for as long and as hard as the dog allows. Feel the dog. Again, if you know your dog, and part of training is you learn your dog. You know when your dog's just blowing you off, going, I got Bryan today, man. He's obviously not on his A game, so I can just goof off here. You know that. You don't accept that. But you also can feel your dog when it's having a day. and you give some grace. You back off. Okay, think about numbers. You may not always reach those numbers. If you don't, no big deal. We'll reach them the next time. We got a lot of time, guys. Most dogs are living now to be about 12 to 15 years old. Probably outlive me now. So take your time. Don't worry about it. It will get done. And then keep trying to make that forward progress. And at any moment comes to a halt, that's okay. Back up a little bit, then come back forward again. But always have a goal. Always have that end waypoint in mind. And be pushing, pushing, pushing. Good stress, push. So there you go. I wish I could wrap it up. I wish I could tie it up in a nice little box, put a bow around it, nice and pretty, and tell you 3 sessions per day, 10 minutes per day. But if I was doing that, I wouldn't be doing you any justice, and I darn sure wouldn't be doing your dog any justice. It's not that simple. And if you read it in a book, shut the book right then and there, because it's not. Again, pay attention to your instincts. You go out here where I'm at, those instincts come alive. They really do. So every now and then, the last little thing I'm going to just hand you as a little hint. Back up your dog. Go train somewhere else out of in your yard and inside your house. Go to a park. Go get away from the rest of these human beings out here. Go away from them. So it's just you and your dog. Every now and then you both could use that little break. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. That's about the best I can do on that. I hope I gave you a couple little nuggets there that you can pull from and just tuck away in your old training cap up here and do right. Do right by your dog and do right by yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to head on back over this way a little ways and try and enjoy my day, getting a little hike right here, and then I'm going to be heading back to Memphis tomorrow. And one last little word. Any of you guys out there dealing with that hurricane, that nasty thing, bless you. Hang in there. Be tough. Be smart. Survive it. And if anyone has dogs that someone needs to take care of, or someone who just can't take care of them, make it happen. Reach out there to your fellow dog owner. Give them some support, okay, especially in these times. All right, guys, I'm out of here. See you tomorrow.